You're listening to Trax FM's podcast. If you've enjoyed our content, more podcasts are available on the RTM Click app and website. Let us know what you think. Please email us at traxfm.rtm@gmail.com. Like and follow us on social media at Trax FM Official.
Aloha. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Trax FM's Trax Momentum, 11:15 in the morning. And it is that time, of course, where we feature a very special guest in the studio who's going to inspire all of us and plant those seeds of inspiration for all of our listeners, women especially, as the show is titled W Talk. So another enlightening episode of W Talk today. I have the privilege of hosting a true trailblazer in the world of race walking. She's the esteemed Annastasia Karen Raj. So just a little brief history. She's a former Malaysian national race walker. She's an Olympian as well. And Karen has not only conquered the track with her determined strides, but she's also left an indelible mark on the sport's rich history. So today, as we delve into I've coined this new phrase for race walkers, the rhythmic elegance of their steps and strides as they make it when the shooting grid begins. We'll unravel the secrets of her success, explore some of the legends who've paved the way and inspired her, and also gain some insights into some of the rigorous trainings that she has done to prepare herself in Atlanta, way back. Karen, welcome to the studios.
Thank you, Anil. Thank you for the opportunity.
You're most welcome. This is the first time in radio?
Yes, I think this is my second time.
Okay. When was the first time?
Many years ago when I was competing.
Okay, trust me, from now on, it's going to be very often because Conti number 5 is a very lucky Conti. There's some unique lucky charm in this Conti, and every time our guests step out of the studios, next thing I hear is that, oh, Anil, after speaking to you, I was featured here, there. So you're going to be out in the limelight for sure, sister.
Thank you, Anil.
All right, great. Now, let's start off with our conversation.
Sure.
Well, now you have had an amazing journey from where you began. I'm not going to say where, but maybe I'll let you have the privilege of speaking about where you came from. But we know that you are a part-time waitress.
Yep.
And you gratefully saw through it that you would one day become an Olympian.
Yep.
Walk us through that journey, Karen.
Yeah, actually, I'm a Central girl. Okay, coming from a humble background. I was actually a premature baby, 7 months, and my parents thought that I will not even make it to begin with.
Okay.
And having the fire in me that drove me, that I knew that I had something in me, some sort of fire in me, some sort of talent. And in school, I was quite actually an introvert. Quite an introvert, and I was small in size. And I think I'm still small in size. I'm just quite short if you compared to the other athletes in the world for my event. And so growing up as a second child, very introvert, and I started to see a path, the talent in me, which was running. So I represented the school on the state level. Then I started to run for some insurance company to make some pocket money. And that's where a national athlete, his name was Ravi, he was training under V. Subramaniam, my coach. And I was walking towards Lake Garden, and he saw me and he said that, wow, you walk very fast. Why don't you take up race walking? I said, race walking? I don't even know how to do this. You ask me to run, I can run.
Yeah.
So I started training. So within 2 weeks, my coach registered me in a competition. It was Tun Razak Stadium. And when the gun went off, my mind was just totally blank. I didn't know how to walk. I didn't know the technical way of doing things. And I just had to compete.
Right.
And I actually got last in the race.
That was your first race?
That was my first race after 2 weeks of training, and that really crushed me. And many people in the stadium was like, what she's doing on the track? Why is she walking? I thought she was a runner. What happened to her? Okay. It really broke my heart, and I told myself that if I'm going to do this, I'm going to win. Period.
Absolutely.
Okay. And the next day, I turned up for training, which my coach was shocked. My coach thought I was not going to come back. Okay. Because I got last.
Yeah.
Right? So that's where it began my journey of race walking. Yeah.
It's a very different discipline compared to other track
It
events.
is.
Because, unlike, the 100-meter dash or the 200-meter dash, it's during race walking that you always see marshals paying very close attention to the race walker to ensure that their feet actually touches the ground, We'll talk a little bit about that on the intricacies,
Sure.
Karen. But I want to talk about your experience in Atlanta.
Oh,
Must
my
have been
gosh.
amazing for you.
Yes.
But why retire after that?
I will tell you. So Atlanta, Olympic is the mother of sports.
Yeah.
Every athlete's dream is to touch Olympics.
Yeah.
Okay, and that was my dream too. Okay, first wear the flag of Malaysia on my chest.
Okay.
Okay, and then I started to get the ranking from third, fourth, and then I finally got the first ranking in Malaysia. And then I started to aim to break the records. Right? So every record, in a span of about 3.5 years, 4 years, I broke the national record like 13 times.
13 times.
Yes. So the record was my eye. And then I said, okay, now what next? I need to touch Olympic. I need to be the first female athlete in race walking to get into Olympics. That was my dream. Olympics, wow, mind-blowing experience. It's like Alice in Wonderland, literally Alice in Wonderland. You become like a superstar. They treat you like kings and queens.
You were living the dream.
Exactly. And come on, it's in US. US was one of my dream.
Yeah.
Never expected to, compete in US in Atlanta. And even those days, it was so high-tech. I had a chip on my shoe. We had helicopters all around during the race.
Wasn't it during the Atlanta Olympics that Muhammad Ali was the torchbearer and he lit the
Yes,
in the stadium, right?
Yes. You did your research, huh?
No, I actually remember watching that when I was pretty young. My dad has this hobby of watching all of these old opening ceremonies. My dad's a big sports fan himself.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was mind blowing. You're rubbing shoulders with Michael Johnson in the warming up track.
Wow.
Okay, you're rubbing shoulders with Merlin Otti. You're meeting Frankie Fredericks,
Wow.
and I kind of look like one of them. So
Yeah.
they let me in. Okay.
Probably they thought you were from the
I know.
of the Caribbean or something.
Exactly. And no one will ever guess that I'm from Malaysia.
Yeah.
No one will ever guess. And there was once I remember my coach told me, hey, go and take a photograph with Donovan Bailey. I'm like, really? He doesn't look so good, I don't want to take a photograph. He said, go, he's a superstar.
Yeah.
So I took a photograph with him. Guess what? The next day he won gold for 100 meters.
Donovan Bay, the Canadian sprinter,
Yes,
right?
Canadian guy.
Yes.
So yeah, it was a dream come true for me going to Olympics. And that year, I broke the record again.
Yeah.
My qualifying time was 48 minutes in Malaysia. When I went to Atlanta in 1 month's time, my timing was 45:47.
That was for the 10-kilometer walk.
Yes, 10 kilometer. I literally like cut down like 1.5 minutes.
How did you shave it off? What?
I think it was more of an excitement of the whole competition, being with the world best, right? I had my cousins flying from Illinois. I had my uncle from Seattle. They had the Malaysian flag, and then we had students from Malaysia with the Malaysian flag. I was just enjoying the race, and when I was passing by all the Matsales, I was like, wow, not bad. I can actually, beat them. They're bigger than me. So it was more of an excitement, and my coach was screaming. He was saying that, hey, that's your last lap. Go. I said, really, last lap? I still have so much energy.
Yeah.
So it was really an excitement. And I still remember Dr. Jagadesan, Dr. Jagadesan was
Jagat,
there.
yeah.
He was the license officer there. So when I finished my race, he gave me a hug. I broke the record. I even broke my coach's personal best.
Wow.
And that was the first time ever my coach gave me a hug. Okay. He's a super strict coach.
Okay.
By the way. So that was my Olympic experience, which up till today, I can still remember every single, the moment in Atlanta.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's reflect on your very illustrious campaign as a race walker, Karen. Who are your role models? Now, I'm sure being a woman, you may have role models outside the sport, but I want to shine the spotlight on the sport a bit because it's very important for us to look at people who are doing what we aspire to do.
Yeah.
And we want to set those benchmarks, especially when in sports, athletes as well. Who are your role models in the sport of race walking?
I think race walking, she's an Australian. Her name is Jane Saville. All right. She was actually behind me in Atlanta in 96. In 98, she won the gold in Commonwealth. And she was actually younger than me, I think 1 or 2 years. Okay. All right. The Australian way of training is remarkable.
Wow. Okay.
With the technology, with the international competition, with how they build the pipeline of athletes. Very, very structured way.
Okay.
So that's why you see Australia in Commonwealth, they really do well. Either Australia or England. But on the local arena, I must say this, till today, I saw Nicole growing during my time. Okay, she was a young girl. And she's still my idol, I would say, Dato Nicole.
Okay.
Right?
Nicole.
With her humbleness and with her discipline, perseverance. And it's such a good news that squash now is in Olympics.
Okay.
And we are going to get the gold medal.
Absolutely. No doubt on that.
Exactly.
And who's your inspiration outside the sport?
Well, outside the sports, wow. That's a difficult question. As a daughter, as a child, my father is actually always my hero.
Amazing.
Okay, he's my hero, and his name is Charlie Brown.
Charlie Brown.
I actually came back from Dubai just last week, Thursday. Okay, and one of the biggest reason everyone asked me, why are you coming back from Dubai to Malaysia? Dubai, what a life in Dubai. Yes, all the life luxury and all the money can never buy family.
Yeah.
Right? So I want to be closer to the family, and it's time for me to give back to Malaysia. And Professor Dr. Shamala has been inspiring me, and I want to follow her footstep. And she's done so much for the sports arena up till today.
Absolutely. Yes. And I think, since you mentioned about Professor Dr. Shamala, it's people like her and you serve as a testament that athletes could also excel professionally in a white-collar job post-retirement.
Exactly.
And that also gives a lot of importance to education, because Professor Shamla always mentions it, that education and sports go hand in hand together. You can never focus on one. You have to strike a balance. Maybe you can share a little bit of your insights on how we can strike that healthy balance, Karen. But hold that thought. We'll go for a quick break, and when we come back, we will resume with the discussion. Stay tuned. Keep it right here. W Talk on Tracks Momentum. We'll be right back. Truly inspiring woman indeed. I'm speaking to Annastasia Karen Raj, former national racewalker and also Malaysian Olympian. Karen, welcome back to the discussion. Now let's talk about the sport of racewalking. Usain Bolt once said that he trained 4 years just to run a 9-second 100-meter dash. Yeah. Similarly, racewalkers also train 4 years to endure a 10-kilometer walk. And we know racewalking is both physically and also mentally very demanding, because, unlike the 100-meter dash where the focus is completely on the track, right? We were speaking earlier in the break, watching them from the starting grid to the finish line. But in racewalking, oftentimes, even in the media, the spotlight is only when the racers come to the finish line.
Yeah.
When they're racing into the finish line, that's when you see all the attention and the cameras and the glitz and the glamour and all of those things. Now, I want you to talk to us about the unique training routine that a racewalker actually endures, and how is that different from the other explosive track events?
Yeah, I think race walking, for my view, 90% is mental strength because of the duration. Yeah. You see, 100 meters, you can't think much. Okay, in 10 seconds, it's done. You can't play with your mind.
Okay.
All right? It's all your strength and you just keep going. But race walking, it's all your mind game. Okay, your mind will tell you, okay, you're getting tired, slow down a bit. Okay, you can't go too fast. All right? It's all a mind game. So I usually use a lot of visualization. Literally. Okay? Like even one lap, 400 meters. What's my timing going to be? Is it going to be 120, 130? Okay. So every lap, I visualize the time. Every lap, every 1 kilometer. So the timing is so important. Right? And long distance, if it's 10 kilometers, I don't train 10 kilometers. My coach has we have done 30 kilometers. Every Sunday at 4:30 in the morning is my training.
Wow.
Okay. So literally, specifically, my coach used to have my long workouts on Sunday so that we don't go and party on Saturday. So I never really
so you're a party girl as well?
No, I'm not. Okay, and I've never partied. I never had my teenage, all that, because I was so focused on training.
Success comes with a lot of sacrifice.
Yeah. And every time my friends, school friends used to, my college friends or after school, they used to call me, hey, let's go for a movie. I say, I can't. I literally didn't have friends actually. All right, because I always, it's not that I don't want to, hang out, but it was discipline. It was hard work. I used to have swollen legs, and my coach said, just put on the ice and come and work out. Okay, there was no shortcut in training.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, and I also want to step. Those days in Batu Cave, we were able to walk up the steps. Okay, I tell you, my coach can be crazy at times. I remember non-stop 7 times up and down of Batu Cave steps. When you literally finish your Batu Cave steps training and you cannot walk, he will whistle so hard that you need to run up.
You got to sprint
and you come down. Okay. And I remember there was once I came down, I just couldn't, my legs were wobbling. Okay, you literally couldn't feel your knees, all right? And then you throw up at the side.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't even bother to look at it. He'll whistle, he said, come, let's go and do circuit. I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of hard work. 3 times a day. Sundays you have training.
Yeah.
You have no time to breathe, literally. So it doesn't come easy.
I think that's how sports and training for professional sport has evolved, because back in those days, in the early 80s, late 80s, early 90s, there wasn't much science behind it. It was more on just hard training.
Yeah.
And then, nowadays you got things like recovery, there's nutrition, lots of other scientific elements that come into play. But it's, these are the things. And as they always say, the competition is the easy part. Training is the nightmare.
Exactly. Rain or shine, we're on the track. I remember my coach, I used to, there was one centralized training in Bangi. And while I was training, and suddenly there was rain, and then all the athletes ran in. And then I was in the rain. My coach said, he just put the raincoat and he said, you continue. I'm like, what's wrong with him?
Okay.
But the next month I went for Philippine Open. Halfway in the race, it was raining.
Wow.
Okay, and I won the gold for Malaysia.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's hard work lah. There's no shortcut with that.
So I know, I'm pretty sure that you wouldn't have been able to achieve all this without a strong support system, right? So how important was the support system for you, which included your coaches, your teammates, and your family in your career, and for you to make, all of these improvements and great strides, Karen?
Yeah, I would say my dad was a big support system, because my training starts at 4:30. Those days, he didn't want me to drive. He didn't want me to, buy a car. He was my chauffeur everywhere, anywhere. So imagine 4:30 is my training. He have to get up so early.
So he was your training assistant?
Yeah. So literally he sends me for training everywhere. And there was time he was having high fever, and he said, no, Ma, I will take you for the training. Okay, don't take a bus. Those days were mini bus. He said, no buses. I will pick you up. You just call me. All right. So he was my biggest support. And my mom, she flew to, I think, Chiang Mai Sea Game. Okay, Jakarta Sea Game in 1997. She was my big supporter. Okay, every time when I come back from a competition, I get good food from my mom.
Nice.
Yeah. I think family plays a huge role. And of course, the coach does the magic.
Absolutely. I read this book that was written by Tim S. Gruwer. So Tim S. Gruwer is the guy who was Michael Jordan's and also Kobe Bryant's personal trainer. And then he sort of shares his wisdom to parents who want to groom and nurture their kids to become athletes. And the most important thing that he says is that don't think that your job is done when you drive your kids to the training ground. Your job is not done. When you take them there, sit through the entire training. Sit there, watch them train, get them their drinks, get them the refreshments, get them a new pair of shirt, wipe their sweat off, sit through the entire training process. And then when you're driving back, don't talk to them about anything. Let them come back home, have a shower, while over dinner, talk to them and ask them, so, how did your training go?
I mean, I think that's great. That's phenomenal.
Amazing. Because
Yeah.
that's the dedication that you have to show. Because these days you see people just sending their kids to training programs and expecting the kids to learn a thing or two. But then when they don't show progress, that's when they start bombarding the kids and say, "What? I sent you for this, I sent you for that." But then when it's time for you to perform in a tournament, you failed.
Exactly.
Well, as a parent, I guess you.
I mean, Tiger Woods will be a Tiger Woods only because of his dad. Right? Serena Williams is their dad.
Yes.
Okay. Night in, day out.
Yes. And let's talk about race walking back again. It's got its own set of rules and also nuances. So for the benefit of our listeners, Karen, can you enlighten our listeners about some of the lesser known aspects, things that we don't see on television that a race walker actually endures during competition?
Yeah. Because it's a very technical event and you will be disqualified if one of your leg is above the ground.
Okay.
All right. So one of the leg must be at the ground. Okay. It's a very, very technical. It's a coordination, both even your upper body. Okay. Don't just look at the leg, but the hands as well. If your hands are coordinated the right way, your leg will go the right way. So I had so much of crazy way of correcting my walking style.
Okay.
My coach used to literally tie weights on my legs so that my legs would be on the ground.
Wow.
Okay, and then I used to have like he will pick up some stones in the road and give me stones in my hand so that I will always have my hands below, not high. So runners can lift your hands higher and you can run anyway. But race walking, you got to put your hands lower. And then he used to have like a long stick put at the back of my both my hands so that I will, have a right posture when I walk. So there's just so much of technicality in race walking. Running, you can run any style. Have you seen Michael Johnson running?
Yes.
Okay. No one runs like him.
Like no one.
Okay. There's no
he runs like he's running away from the cops.
Exactly. So yeah, it's quite technical. I would say my technicality and my way of walking, the credit goes to my coach. Okay, he corrected my style, even how I look, where I look. Do I look up? Do I look straight? Okay, and my shoulders not too high, so that is more relaxed. Okay, and my feet, even my shoe, I had to put a kind of like another layer of platform, so that because both my legs are not equal. All right. So there's just so many things for an athlete to look at. You just go train and win.
Are you still involved in coaching these days?
Actually, as I told you, I just came back from Dubai. Yeah, just last Thursday. Okay, I just joined Hong Leong Bank this Monday.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm still, I still haven't unpacked my boxes, basically.
Okay.
So yeah, this is the beginning.
Right. And what kind of changes do you expect to see for the future, the sport of race walking?
I really hope that the MSN or the Malaysian Athletic Association would give the athletes more international exposure.
Okay.
I think the exposure really, really helps an athlete to really see outside world, not just, bawa burung lah, say, right? Okay. And that's international exposure is very important. Okay. And also the grassroots in Malaysia. Start them from young. Okay. The school PE teacher plays a big part in an athlete, a future athlete. The PE teacher, they will identify some talent from there. That's where they start to go for MSSM, MSSWP, and then SUKMAR, and then, the Malaysian Open.
Okay.
So it all starts from the school.
Right. Speaking about that, we'll touch a bit on the budget later on the allocation that's been made for sports. Let's take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. W Talk with Anil on the mic and Annastasia Karen Raj will be right back after Better Man by Leon Bridges. Welcome back to W Talk. Anil on the mic, and I'm joined by Annastasia Karen Raj, former Malaysian national race walker and also former Olympian who has performed at the echelon of the sport back in 1996 at the Atlanta Olympics. Karen, welcome back to the discussion.
Thank you, Anil.
Now, we're talking about MSN, we're talking about budget allocation, the future that holds for the sporting scene in our country. And under Budget 2024, which was tabled last Friday by our Prime Minister, the government had announced 20 million ringgit for the RTG initiative, the Road to Goal initiative. As we know, preparations are underway for the 2024 Olympics in Paris, in France. And then besides that, 50 million is also allocated to upgrade sports facilities, which is an ongoing, perpetual debate in our country. How do you foresee the future like for our country to perform in the Olympics?
I think if you're saying for Paris next year, it's quite a stretch because we were not prepared. We don't really have much of a pipeline or a successor. Anything can happen anytime, right?
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
let me hold you right there. So, are you trying to say this is not the stepping stone for our first gold medal? Come on.
Unfortunately, this is my prediction.
Okay.
To be frank, this is my prediction. We had so much of hope on the last Olympic.
Yeah.
We knew we were going to crack that goal.
Tokyo.
Through our badminton. Unfortunately, we couldn't. But to be on the positive side, I believe the following Olympics, okay, we might even get 4 golds. Okay, my prediction, squash.
Okay.
It's a no-brainer.
Okay.
And of course, badminton. By then, we'll be even more stronger.
Yeah.
Okay. Cycling, potentially. Okay. Last but not least, you never know, hockey might give us a surprising goal. Okay. Because we need time. It was very, very tight.
Okay.
If you look at the performance, and there's no reason now to talk about COVID and all this pandemic. It's over. People are breaking world records already.
Yeah.
Right? We need to wake up. But because we have limited athletes, no proper succession, no proper pipeline, that is our loophole. This is my view. I can be wrong. Maybe we might have our first goal next year.
Okay. On that note, very quickly, Karen, what are your hopes for the development of sport in Malaysia?
I think, as I mentioned earlier, Anil, it really starts from the grassroots. It starts from school, right? It starts from school. We need to build up the pipeline. We need to have lots and lots of successors.
Okay.
We only had one Chong Wei, Dato' Lee Chong Wei. We only had one. So thank God for now for Siva Sangri, okay, our squash queen now.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Thank God for Shireen. That's a long time.
Yeah.
We didn't have a Shireen for a long time.
Very long stretch.
Okay. We got our bronze in our Asian game. Right? That was a very, very long time.
Yeah.
We don't have an Annastasia. Okay, a replacement of race walking. When is the last time we took a goal for even SEA game or Asian game? When is the last time? You know what? I was the last female athlete in athletics as an Indian, as an Indian female. I was the last one to qualify to go to Olympics.
Where do you think the problem lies in not being able to achieve that?
As I told you, it's the grassroots. Okay, it's from the school. If the PE teacher were to identify, motivate them, groom them, okay, have a proper structured coaching. The coaches plays the magic.
Okay.
Right? So structured plan, a blueprint, why not?
Okay.
That's my view on our future plans for sports.
Fantastic. Great thoughts. Thank you very much for sharing your thoughts. Now, this wouldn't be a W Talk if I never asked you this question. There are lots of women, lots of girls out there listening to the show who I'm very sure aspire to be just like you, Karen. What is your advice to them?
I think we ladies, we're just so powerful, man. Okay? And we only have one life to live.
Yeah.
Give all you got. Why not? Always ask the question, why not? If others can do it, why not you? What's so different about you? That was my question all the time. When I was competing in US, even my world championship in Athens, I compete in Czech Republic, and I always look at all the matsales and the ones that are so tall, and I said, if they can do it, why not? And why not you?
Yeah.
Give yourself a chance. Don't doubt yourself.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
so that would be my word of encouragement to all the ladies out there, the girls, the school. Have a dream. I had a dream. I wanted to go to Olympics. I want to feel Olympics. It was do or die. The fire was in me. Okay, and the fire is still on. Now my fire is
can
in a
see that.
different,
I can
in a
see
different
that.
area. You know, my
Yeah.
kids, my 3 kids, you know, my husband. My fire is different, but my fire is still going on.
Find your fire.
Exactly. Find your fire.
All right. Anastasia Karen Raj, thank you so much. I dreamt of someday speaking to Olympians, and here I am living the dream right now, speaking to a national Olympian. I had such a great time having this conversation with you. Unfortunately, time is of the essence. But before I let you go, very quickly, any parting words?
You know, we have one life to live. Give all you got.
Okay. Give all you got and find the fire in you, girl.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you very much, Anastasia Karen Raj. For our listeners who just tuned in or have been listening, thank you so much for being with us. I just wrapped up a very insightful conversation with former National Olympian and National Racewalker Anastasia Karen Raj in today's edition of W Talk. Now, if you missed out on this conversation, worry not. You can always head straight back to our Facebook page at Tracks FM Official and replay the entire conversation there. And trust me, you really want to listen to it, because today we got up close and personal with an Olympian, and that's a chance that we don't often get. And on that note, I'm going to dedicate this next song to you, Karen. This is a song from the movie Biggle, and it's titled Singapenne. And there's a line in there that I think resonates perfectly with you, and it goes, "Unnale mudiyadendru oorai sollum nambade," which means the world will tell you that you will never achieve it. Don't you dare believe them.
Exactly. Spot on.
This one's for you, Karen.
Thank you, Anil.
You're listening to Trax FM's podcast. If you've enjoyed our content, more podcasts are available on the RTM Click app and website. Let us know what you think. Please email us at traxfm.rtm@gmail.com. Like and follow us on social media at Trax FM Official.